Good afternoon. We are all set for the live broadcast stream of today's Health and Human Service Committee meeting at 6 p.m. on HPA-TV Comcast and Frontier Government Channels 96 and 6032. It will also be streamed via HPA-TV, the HPA-TV Facebook page, and HPA-TV's Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon TV apps. It'll also be rebroadcast and made available on the HPA-TV YouTube channel. So welcome everyone for joining. Today we have, I'll bring this meeting to order. Today we have a light agenda today. We have, and also a couple in attendance. So we have Attorney Damar Osborne for Corporation Counsel. And then we have our guest today, which is Luis Rivera. And so we're going to bring item number one will be Luis Rivera's appointment to the Human Relations Committee. Is that correct, Mr. Rivera? Great. So I'll leave the floor to you, Mr. Rivera. Can you give us a couple, some background on yourself?
So thank you so much. So I'm Luis Rivera from Hartford, but was born in Puerto Rico. Came here when I was 8 years old, and I lived in Hartford ever since. I've gone through MD Fox School, Buckley High School, Capital Community College. So I went through all the Hartford public school system, and I was able to gain the education needed there to be able to place myself in a good situation where I work now at Connecticut Children's Medical Center. Started there with an associate, started as a program assistant, continued to work hard there, and then also continued to get my education. Went to the University of Connecticut, got my master's in social work, and with that degree, I was able to get a promotion within Connecticut Children's to direct Safe Kids Connecticut program, which I worked there for 4 years. And recently, after I graduated, I was given a promotion to become the community relations manager at Connecticut Children's Medical Center. I have worked and lived in Hartford my entire life, so I experienced firsthand some of the issues that are faced by our residents of Hartford, Connecticut. So I want to bring my life, my lived experience, and also my work experience to this commission to help shape some of the laws and some of the policies that affect our residents.
So, Mr. Rivera, I want to first thank you for volunteering your time. As most people are aware, the commissions and committees are volunteer positions. And so with that being said, what I always ask with folks who want to join commissions or committees at the city level is, how do you bake in your time and, and the time that's committed to be involved and actively involved in these monthly meetings?
So one of the great things about working at Connecticut Children's Medical Center is that they allow for my work time to be flexible so that I can also represent Connecticut Children's at this commission that I want to work on. So my employment is very flexible, giving me the opportunity to be able to serve in this commission. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Hold on.
Oh,
yeah, that was me. That was me.
Okay.
So the next question is, can you give me an example of in your role as with community relations at Children, where you had to make a difficult decision, and if you could walk me through it?
Yeah. So I'll give you an example in my former role as the director of Safe Kids Connecticut. So it was difficult at times as the director of Safe Kids because as the director, you have to be able to manage relationships and manage competing interests between different coalition members. So there was a specific situation where we had a coalition that represented Connecticut Children's Medical Center that were doing things, that particular coalition were doing things that did not represent Connecticut Children's Medical Center well. So I was faced in a difficult situation because the person that ran that coalition was a dear friend of mine. But we had a standard that I had to adhere to as the director of Safe Kids Connecticut. So I had a meeting with that person that was doing things that were not very ethical or right. Had a chance to confront them and ask them to change some of the things that they were doing, and then gave them a chance to do the right thing so that we can continue our relationship as one of our coalitions. That person refused to change their practice, so I was faced with the difficult decision of having to let them go as one of our coalitions, so because of the greater good.
Yeah, that sounds like a very difficult task that you were able to navigate through. So is there any last comments, Mr. Rivera, that you would like to provide for us?
Yeah, of
No?
course. Yeah, so I'm a person that is passionate about serving. I think that my faith in God provides me with the strength and the courage and the willingness to provide help to people in need and to be able to serve the people that are in the margin, the people that need the most help. So if I'm allowed to serve in this commission, you will be getting somebody that's passionate on helping our Hartford community.
Thank you, Mr. Rivera. I appreciate it. And welcome to the committee meeting today. Ms. Karen Taylor, Director. I forgot the position title. Ms. Taylor, don't kill me for that, but Director Taylor. So thank you for joining us today. So Ms. Rivera, you're all set. Thank you for providing all this detailed information. I'm sure you're going to be a welcome addition to the Human Relations Committee.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Well,
Take
take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, Ms. Taylor, how are you?
I'm doing well, Councilman LeBron. How are you?
I'm well. So I have a quick question for you, Ms. Taylor. In relation to the Commission on Human Relations, or the commission that Mr. Rivera is going to be assigned to, how does your office interact with that commission?
That is a really great question. As you know, the Office of Equity and Opportunity really just got off the ground at the beginning of this year, right? And I apologize for not having my camera on. My bandwidth is kind of shaky, so I just wanted to make sure that you all can hear me. So the Human Relations Commission historically has really been kind of like central to creating inclusion, not necessarily looking at the city internally, but externally. And my hope is that we'll be able to revamp the Human Relations Commission with additional members by growing that commission membership and then really making it kind of like the hub of all of the other boards and commissions that are aligned to our office. So it's going to be responsible for lots of work around inclusion related to events, initiatives. So really like the culminating commission of the LGBTQ plus commission, permanent commission on the status of Hartford women, civilian police review board, Veterans Commission, all the ones that are aligned to my office. I would like to see that kind of roll up into human relations as like the culminating group that is responsible for the events and the initiatives that are happening throughout the city related to inclusion. So very happy to welcome on our new members and looking forward to continuing growing that commission as well.
Fantastic. Ms. Taylor, I have a question for you. Would you be willing to maybe on a quarterly basis or what have you, or when you're available, give us the HHS or maybe even our labor committee updates on your progress?
I'd be honored.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. Today's a quick meeting and a quick agenda. So we have Mr. Luis Rivera. So do you have any questions for me, Ms. Taylor?
Not at this time. This video will be available. I wanted to catch Mr. Rivera's whole interview, so I want to make sure I'm able to go back and watch it. And I'd love to be able to meet one-on-one to talk more about.
Yeah, you can look at Councilman LeBron's Facebook page. You can subscribe to the channel, and it'll be there.
Awesome. I'll absolutely do that.
Okay. I heard I'm trending. I don't know if that's true or not.
I believe it. I can confirm that.
All right. All right. So we'll move on to item number 2, which is the Columbus Ad Hoc Task Force report. I'll give a quick update on that report. I mean, it's obvious here for the committee meeting that we don't have quorum, but I'll give, for the folks that are watching the meeting, an update, a quick kind of high-level summary of the Columbus Task Force. So the Columbus Task Force began in May of 2020 as a result of the social justice movement that was happening around the country and was also happening in Hartford specifically as well. During that time, there was a lot of movement across the country as well around what should be honoring and who should be the people that's reflected in honoring in the form of statues, etc. And so as a result, in various neighborhoods in America, there was a removal of Columbus monuments, and there were also other communities that held steadfast on having Columbus be a great representative of, their communities. And so we took on the journey, myself and Councilwoman Rossetti put formally a resolution regarding all items related to Columbus. And so we met for approximately either 9 or 10 months, and we had various committee members across from the Hartford community, both from the academic side and the work side and various neighborhoods. And we all came together and executed a formal report that was submitted to council and to the mayor in June of this year, excuse me. June of this year. And so as a result, the council looked at it and referred it to our HHS committee so that we could describe it a little bit more. And so as a result, as everyone can see here, we don't have quorum, but I wanted to reflect to you, Attorney Osborne, and say both Luis Rivera, both item number 1 and item number 2. Hello, I'd like to welcome Councilman Jimmy Sanchez. Thank you, Councilman Sanchez, for joining us today. Appreciate it. So, Attorney Osborne, seeing that we don't have voting members today, these are both items that I can discharge, right, from the committee as the commission chair.
Good evening, Councilman. Mr. Sanchez is not a member of this. He doesn't have a.
No, Mr. Sanchez is not a member, a formal member. He attends my meetings enough. We should consider it.
Oh, I mean, that'd make it a lot easier. Well, the second one is just a report, so I don't think necessarily it needs formal voting. The first one's a little tricky, because I believe the council rules require two members, and it appears to be an appointment. So I hate to do this. It might have to be tabled, or something, or maybe a special meeting. Because I don't want the decision to be not binding.
Right. So just what Councilman Sanchez, go ahead.
Yes, Attorney Osborne. I believe as the chair of the committee, Councilman LeBron is able to discharge it with a note that our appointee can reach out and communicate with the rest of council so that they can have the conversation individually, and then the council can vote at the dais or virtual during the council meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I would also add that I believe that there's a statute once the mayor puts in a recommendation that statutorily, whether we vote on it positively or not, any recommendation would get appointed to the commission and the boards anyway after, I believe, a 45-day period, which would put, if we were to wait until next month HHS meeting, would clearly place Luis Rivera into the commission anyway.
Automatically, you are correct.
Okay. In light of that understanding, I support it, Councilman.
Thank you very much. So, Councilman Sanchez, thank you for logging on. I wanted you to, I mean, if you have any questions, Mr. Rivera, left earlier. He's a representative of Connecticut Children's Medical Center, born, raised in Hartford, born in Puerto Rico, and comes with high regards. And so I also worked with him in previous commissions at Trinity, so I know his work well. And then we also just briefly touched upon the Columbus Task Force at a high level. So are there any questions that you have for me that maybe I can, and then also Director Karen Taylor of Office of Equity and Inclusion gave an update as to her, not an update as her progress, but now kind of what, her office is working on. So with that being said, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I do have. Mr. Rivera, is he aware of the time and scheduling that's required to be on the commission?
So I know that that's a standard question from Councilman Sanchez. So that's actually the first question that I asked him. And he apparently has a job where he makes his own schedule. And so it allows him for flexibility to be able to attend these commissions.
That's great. That's great. And I would have loved to thank them for his dedication into joining the commission, and the support that he'll be given to this commission as well, and supporting the city.
Wonderful.
So if you could relay that message to him, I would appreciate that. Hopefully one day I'll meet him.
Yeah, definitely. Any other questions, Councilman?
No, thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. So with that being said, I'd like to make a note for the record that both items were discharged from our committee with a no vote for that, so that the council can vote on the meetings vote on these items on Monday at our next council meeting, which I believe is, 9/13. And so we look forward to seeing everyone there, and it's preceded by public comment. Yes, Councilman Sanchez.
Yes, just to get a better understanding, I thought I heard you say that the two resolution was discharged with a no vote or no votes.
Well, there were no votes because we don't have quorum.
Okay. No, I mean, I think there's a distinction when you put the A in there, that there's a no, it was voted no.
Duly noted. So take out the A. We're going to take out the A and then put it in tomorrow. So we'll make that distinction for agenda day tomorrow. All right. With that being said, seeing no further questions, I vote for the meeting to be adjourned. And there's no other votes. So, all right. Good night. Good night, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.